Well, if you're living as a nomad, if you live on the road, or if you take a lot of camping trips throughout the year, you know that as a traveler or as a full-time nomad, your biggest expense is your campground fees. Campground fees, fuel, and food are the three biggest expenses living full-time on the road that if you're not careful, you can spend more money living on the road or taking an adventure than you would compared to living in a house or renting an Airbnb. So the Thousand Trails camping memberships or camping pass has been well known, well promoted, and I've used the camping pass in the past to subsidize the camping cost, one of your three major costs living on the road: camping fees, fuel, and food. So the Thousand Trails camping pass is definitely economic. You can get it with a discount for around $500 for the entire year. It has some limitations. The camping memberships allow you to go park to park, but they have some limitations. But one of the newest memberships that Thousand Trails just announced as I make this video is called the Thousand Trails Adventure. A new membership called the Thousand Trails Adventure. And I was quoted a price of $15,000. Okay, let's cut right to the chase. $15,000. Now, it all varies because it depends if you currently have a membership. They will look at the value of your current membership, whether a camping pass or an elite, an odyssey, whatever it is, and they will kind of prorate that, and then you will pay an additional cost above that. So maybe if you had the odyssey, maybe you only spend $7,000, or maybe if you had the elite, you only spend $10,000. But if you're brand new and you're going to sign up to get a camping pass just right out of the door, and you're going to get this new package, I was quoted around $15,000, and it may even be a little bit more. And the yearly recurring fee is the $615 for the Trails Plus program. And that Trails Plus program is really the main benefit here, because now with that, you can go from campground to campground with regards to the Encore parks, from Encore Park to Encore Park. Especially in Florida, they only have like the Thousand Trails Orlando, and then the Peace River in the middle of nowhere, Dookie campground, and then the Wildwood, Florida, North Florida, another trailer park in the middle of nowhere. So it's like, at least with the Encore parks, you could be close by the ocean in nice areas. Because the biggest negative with Thousand Trails is you are going to go where their campgrounds are. And with this membership, you can go to more exotic, nice places because the Encore parks tend to be in nicer locations. So you can go Encore Park to Encore Park. You can reserve Encore Parks 90 days in advance. But you're going to pay a premium. Okay. And with the Thousand Trails side of it, you got the optimum thing. You can reserve Thousand Trails campgrounds 180 days in advance. Your membership dues freeze at the age of 62. And, you 21 days in, 7 days out, whether Thousand Trails or Encore. But if you take the $15,000 initial, if you're a brand new customer, if you take the $615 for the Trails Plus, which are the Encore parks, and then you're still going to have the Thousand Trails annual dues, which is around $500-600. You're going to be at about $1,000 or $1,200 a year, $1,200 a year in fees. If you're not 62, and that's about $100 a month. It would take you about 2 to 3 years of full-time camping. 2 to 3 years of full-time camping and using that to get a return on your investment. You may be better off putting that $15,000 towards a house if you were just looking economics. But what that does, though, it does give you a lot of flexibility. You pay for it, but it gives you a lot of flexibility. It keeps you away from maintenance. You'll never have to pay a utility bill. You'll never have to repair something. You can travel anywhere. You can travel with the weather. You can reserve 90 days in advance for encores, 180 days in advance for 1,000 trails. You can go from encore to encore. You can ride the coast. But you need the RV. You can stay for 21 days, out 7, so you're only moving once a month. You never have to stay at a different campground other than 1,000 trails or encore parks, never. So you have a fixed budget. But again, you need a 2 to 3 year return ratio. But look, you got no maintenance, no entanglements, and you solve the number one problem of living as a nomad, which is safe, legal parking. And if you have an RV, that's definitely needed. Now, if you live in your car and van, it doesn't solve all your problems. Why? Because encore parks, most of them, do not allow tent camping. So if you live out of your car or van, you can go to a campground and set up a tent, okay, and that's your, camping means. But most of these encore parks require an official or an RV, travel trailer, motorhome, whatever. So, to get into the game, if you were living in your car or van, you're going to have to get an RV. But you solve the biggest problem, which is where to park. The worst thing is getting the knock on the door from the police, from a drug addict, or from just traveling and not having a destination. So this camping pass gives you some center, some direction, and subsidizes that lost puppy feeling where you have nowhere to go. Pluto, great to see you, man. Pluto's living full-time in his vehicle. Sammy, hope your day was going well. Well, I got through another day, and I loved your comment that you had a bad day. You woke up crying, but you remembered to manage your time, self-care. When in doubt, go to the gym. When in doubt, do something productive. When in doubt, eat healthy. Because let me tell you something. As a YouTuber and as a grown man, I've dealt with a lot of people with mental problems. And it's like being a correctional officer in a jail. There's not much difference as far as the mindset when you are in an environment where there's an unhealthy mind or unhealthy person that's trying to manipulate the situation. You have to be so focused on self-care that you are dealing with someone with a psychotic behavior. And you don't try to save them, you don't try to hurt them, but you also don't allow them to run your mind, okay? Because let me tell you something, okay? You're going to see some of these people in 1,000 Trails camping grounds. You're going to see some of them in rest areas. You're going to see some of them in 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes. Because let me tell you something, mental illness is real. Let me tell you something, life is real. Let me tell you something, there is a lot to be said, okay, for when you live this nomadic life, you're trying to live on the cheap and you're trying to live on your terms. You're also dealing with people who can't function in society. And you have to learn how to navigate them. You have to learn to navigate around them. But the biggest thing that will break you as a nomad is dealing with the public. Why will you get off the road? Because it's fun to go to Starbucks every day. It's fun to go to the supermarket. It's fun to go to the gym. It's fun to go to all these places every day. It's an adventure. Like the new 1,000 Trails membership, it's an adventure. But what happens is, what you realize is, you don't have any safe sanctuary to turn off the adventure. And you have to deal with people coughing. I was in Planet Fitness today. And a guy comes in the bathroom, he just starts coughing and like spitting up shit. I'm like, come on, man, have some common courtesy. So, you don't even think about that if you go back to a house. But when you've been dealing with the public all day and when you have no house to go back to, or when you go back to a campground and your neighbor is, 10 feet away from you, it wears on your mind. You'll get off the road because you're tired of dealing with the public. But you can change your life. You can live a unique life out on the road. And it's a good thing. And you can figure out ways to find some safety and security. One of them are campgrounds. Now, this new membership is very expensive. I don't know if you'd be better off, or I'd be better off, putting that $15,000 down on a house, okay? Or down on a Class B and just, driving that around. But You go back to your goals as a nomad, as a person, and you go back to self-care. Okay. And you go back to time management, you go back to money management, and you don't rush. You know, they tried to create a sense of urgency around this new membership. You know, in the IT world, when there's a phishing email sent, a phishing email is an email with a link, and this link like kind of prompts you to enter in a username and password because they say like, well, someone has stole your identity or someone has done this, please log in and change it or whatever. You know, any phishing or any cyber attack tries to portray a sense of urgency to make you do something quick. Every marketing scheme tries to say it's a limited time, limited this, limited that, do it quick, do it. And look, it may be limited, but I'm telling you right now, if you rush into GameStop stock, if you rush into Bitcoin, if you rush into 1,000 trails, if you rush into anything, you rush into a marriage, you're gonna get the raw end of the deal in life. Okay? You're gonna miss out on some things if you don't seize the moment, but when in doubt, don't buy. Okay? When in doubt, self-care. See, you're dealing with a herd mentality in life. Okay? And you're dealing with a lot of people that aren't taking care of themselves. Okay? And they want you to take care of them. They want you to be their babysitter. Okay? So a couple people mentally ill, guys, they keep creating profiles for me to respond. I got a girl, a guy, they say, please, I want to talk to you live again. Guys, I'm not your father. Okay? I'm not responsible for you. Okay? And I say that with authority. I have a right to take care of myself. Okay? If I don't want to do public checks, if I don't want to answer you, I don't have to. I'm an adult. Okay? If you're not an adult, that's fine. Okay? But guys and girls, the reason I'm living this simple life is so I can live more on my terms. Okay? You know, I don't want to have to deal with someone, guys, that's in a whole nother dimension. And I don't want to have to listen to a comment at 3 a.m. from someone who's so insecure that I'll tell you, if you're ever a YouTuber and you wake up and you see your comment section and you see the type of mind that leaves a comment at 3 a.m. and one day they tell you all great things and the next day they curse you out when they think you're talking about them, I'll tell you right now, you realize most people are not in a good place. They don't feel good about themselves. They don't. And they want to steal your confidence. Your biggest enemy is the insecure. Your biggest enemy. Being insecure is almost like having a mental problem. Okay, I'm going to do a live feed about that maybe tomorrow. Why? Because when you're insecure, okay, what you need to do is try to tear other people down. I don't know any secure, confident person, okay, that is going around hating on someone else. If they don't like something, they just move on, okay? But see, the insecure, they can't move on because they got nothing to move on to. They got no life. They damn sure ain't got no $15,000 for no damn camping pass. Shit. They ain't even got $9.99 for the membership. Okay. Let me tell you something. Membership for life. Because even if I hit the lotto and become a billionaire, I'm still putting a 99-cent membership. Why? Guys, I'm not dealing with all the psychopaths that can do a YouTube profile for free, but they can't work. Nope, not going to do it. Okay. So, you show up. You create your own life. Because memberships come and go, whether 1,000 Trails or YouTubers, and people come and go. Okay, whether best friends, whether parents or family members, you're gonna come and go. Your life is like a grain of sand on the ocean. But I'm by the ocean, guys. Okay, I'm not in Orlando. Okay, Orlando, okay, is for grown men who are so damn immature they slap on bunny ears and fucking go get the coronavirus in Disney World in the middle of a pandemic. Okay, for me, guys. If I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out, okay, trying to get with a Latino MILF that's got a camel toe, okay, and a bikini, okay. Let me tell you something, guys. I'm not hanging around campgrounds, okay. That's not my style, okay. So I don't even know if I would be willing to spend the $15,000 because the vibe, I just want a safe, legal place to park. And I don't want entanglement. I don't want maintenance, okay. But I also don't want, someone sitting outside their travel trailer with lawn chairs, smoking a cigarette, drinking alcohol, asking me about my rig. Don't want to do it. Okay. So I think I just talked myself out of membership. Blew out. I did, brother. You damn right you did. You going forward, man. Pluto, let's take a hydration break. Let's read your comment. Let's remember time management, self-care. You say stop repeating it. I say keep repeating it. Okay. Because you need to stay focused on your best life. Okay. And that's what I'm talking about. Good job. Coming to you, Pluto. Pluto. I did, brother. I woke up in tears and not sure if what I am doing is the right path. After eating, watching your video, I feel much better. I have to keep reminding myself that I'm flexible. You are flexible. Now, look, again, you also are creating your own life now. You're a young adult, and it's scary. It's hurtful. It's sad. And at night, it's going to get sad. In the morning, you tend to feel better again. It's a little bit surprising that you were sad in the morning, not at night. But, you know, we get waves of grief in our life. And nothing can cure that. Nothing can cure life. You can live in your RV. It's not going to cure life. You can live in Florida. It's not going to cure life. However, you can live a better life. There's no perfect life. For me, a better life is just less entanglement, less commitment, more on my terms. It doesn't mean life's perfect. It doesn't mean you'll never cry. It doesn't mean you'll never deal with a psychopath. All it means is you're trying to get through life one day at a time. As you get older, it gets a little harder. I'm not going to lie to you. But the good part about getting older is you're more mature. You've been through more things. You have a little more experience. Hopefully that you're working, you're making more money, you're living below your means. You're learning to live urgently but responsibly. You're not in a rush to do something irrationally, whether buy a 1,000 Trails membership or marry someone or date someone. Or I'll tell you, life is a one day at a time battle. Okay. And we need to stay focused on that. Okay. Because everyone is trying to sell us something. Okay. Including me, guys. Look, I'm doing YouTube for the side hustle, not to connect with psychopaths and meet up at campgrounds. Not going to do it. Okay. So what I could tell you is this, though, guys. I'm here preaching a good message of self-care, self-awareness, and giving you some information. Okay, the information today is if you're not a member of 1,000 Trails and you want a brand new adventure package, you're going to have to pay $15,000 minimum. If you have an existing membership, they will prorate that and make you pay the difference, whether it's $5,000 or $10,000 more. Okay. Mainly the big new news is you can go from Encore Park to Encore Park. And so all I'm doing right now, okay, when I'm looking for direction is giving information, staying focused on my message. Why? Because in life, look, if you don't stay focused, you're just going to go with the wind. Okay? You're going to go with someone. Never ask someone, well, what do you want to talk about? Well, what do you want to do? What do you think about this? Guys, are you leading your life or are you following your life? Okay. So we're on this journey in life, okay? And we're living an adventurous life as a nomad. But you do get to a point as a nomad, you get burnt out on the road. Okay. And you're tired of the adventure, you want stability. But, you know, it is true. Like, you'll go back to the stability and you'll want adventure. Humans are never happy, and we need a balance. Okay. You know, we need a balance. But everyone has a different level of what they consider balance and healthy for them. Okay. And I don't have the answer for everyone. Okay. I struggle myself with what do I want to do next, but when in doubt, I keep it simple. Why? Because I'm just trying to get through life one day at a time. I'm not really trying to do anything other than to take care of myself well, stay healthy as best I can, realize that life gets harder as you get older in some instances, but in some instances it gets better if you take care of yourself. Okay. So empower yourself with knowledge, time management, inspiration, and financial awareness and human nature awareness. Okay. Don't let someone else determine anything about your life if what you're doing is not hurting them, okay? Because they have a decision to make to move on with their life, and so do you, okay? And you have a decision to make. Do you cry for another hour, or do you go for a walk? And you may cry even when you go for a walk. I've done that. But we have to keep moving. We have to keep moving. Movement is life, okay? And what you're going to see in this world, okay, there's a lot of emotional vampires, okay? And there's a lot of other type of vampires, okay? We're in a psychopathic apocalypse. However, we're in the modern day with a lot of modern amenities, and we have it better than any other time in history, okay? Where you can spend $15,000 and you can get unlimited camping. And that's not looked down upon in some instances. However, look, with low interest rates, you could also take that $15,000 and put it down on a house. Okay. You could take that $15,000 and buy stock, buy Bitcoin. What do I recommend you do? I recommend you do what you need to do for you. Okay. I'm not anyone's father. I'm not anyone's mentor. What I am is a YouTuber. I'm sharing some information, some inspiration, but I don't think too highly of myself. I don't think too lowly of myself. I think we're all here trying to figure out what works for us. We're trying to make some money on the side, okay, and that's it. Okay, and we all have baggage. Some people have a lot more than others. Some people got baggage, a storage unit, and 2 travel trailers they don't even use. Okay. And some people have dreams and no reality. Some people, they live in this psychotic state. I was reading up on it today where they they have a total disconnect with reality. It's just really disturbing. Now, it is true that you can't just believe everything about reality, and there's some like nuances in what's real, what's not. But you cannot spend time with the mentally ill and be mentally healthy. Why? Because again, it's like being a correctional officer in a jail. I mean, if you spend most of your day in a jail, guys, that's why police officers too, the guys, they have high divorce rates. Why? Because they're out dealing with the mentally ill most time. Okay, and they get a complex of authoritarianism, and the mentally ill are looking for conflict, and it's just this vicious cycle. Okay, but there's good people in the world. There's good people camping, and you can be a better person. Okay. But all you can do is change yourself. You can't change other people. And you can't change... Look, you can change memberships, but it costs. You can change marriages, but it costs. You can change RVs, but it costs. Everything has a price. All you're trying to do is evaluate the price and risk management. Risk management. Okay. So, what I want to share with you tonight is if you want a new 1,000 Trails membership called the Adventure. The main advantage is you're going to be able to go from Encore Park to Encore Park. You're going to be able to reserve those Encore Parks 90 days in advance. Okay. And in addition to that, you have the regular 1,000 Trails, 21 days in the Encore or 1,000 Trails, 7 days out of that one particular campground, but no days out of the system. 180 days advance booking on 1,000 Trail campgrounds. Your dues freeze at 62, but a big up cost front, whether you're going to finance it. And when you finance with 1,000 Trails, guys, you're looking at 15 to 20%. That's very high. Okay. Most people make their payments, they don't pay up front. Now, with low interest rates, you can understand it, but that's a high interest rate on a loan, 15 or 20%. Now, if you're a YouTuber, and if you make a living, okay, off the Nomad life and you can make it a tax deduction, that's up to you. Okay, a lot of people out there do that. But what I'm trying to tell you is be mindful of all these things, okay? I'm sharing some information. I'm staying focused on the message, okay? And what I'm here to tell you guys is the adventure of life is there's no escaping life, but there's a better life, okay? But you take it one step at a time, okay? And I'm thankful that I got through today, or I'm getting through today. The day's not over until it's over. And it's good that Pluto, you pushed forward. You did what you need to do for you. And that's all we can do, man. And other than that, that's good, man. So I'll take a hydration break. If there's no comments, I'm going to shut down early tonight. Why? Because I'm in that zone. Keep doing you, Pluto. All right, guys. Other than that, that's it. Oh, Journey with Jordan. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Shout out to Tennessee. Everyone working hard in the IT field. Journey. I got a bunch of people. They think they're IT recruiters. Okay, they want to know about, tell me more about your job. Tell me more about this. What are you? What are you, IT recruiter? Okay. Guys, I'll tell you right now, it's a disaster, okay, online. I want to do a whole live feed on. I think social media, other than a side hustle, is basically the deterioration of the mental health of America. It really is, guys. But something's got to entertain us. So, Journey, you have a great night, brother. Keep securing your bag. Secure your mental health, your physical health. Look, guys and girls, a job doesn't destroy your mental health. Talking to someone online who doesn't have a job and wants to talk about nothing for hours, that destroys your mental health. Okay. Take care of yourself. And if someone can't take care of themselves, guys, they need to be not in a Thousand Trails camping ground, and a lot of them are. They need to be in an institution. Okay. And if no institutions want to open up, then they're just going to keep creating fake accounts. But let me tell you something, guys. Don't feel the weight of the world. Don't take on all the burdens of the world. Okay. What you need to do is be your best self. Why? Because if the only thing you can really change in this world is yourself, and you focus on self-improvement, by default, every day you will do more positive and productive things in society. Whether it's work, whether it's not getting in an argument in Planet Fitness when someone's spitting up all their phlegm. You have more self-control because you're taking better care of yourself. But when you're drinking energy drinks, you're smoking weed, you're online trolling all night, you don't sleep properly, you're drinking, you're screwing off your life. Guys, you are part of the problem, not part of the solution. Okay. So you don't have to be Mother Teresa. We found out that Mother Teresa was very bitter in her old age, and she made a lot of bad mistakes caring for the ill, mentally and physically, because she just preached religion and didn't give enough health care. Okay. So what we know now, guys, is that Mother Teresa probably would have been better off if she would have took care of herself, went on some dates, signed up on Tinder, and allowed the federal government to have an enhanced Medicare program, Medicaid, okay, UBI. Why? Because, guys, Mother Teresa was not a qualified nurse. She had no formal training. She was not versed in many things. And the way that society in years past used to deal with the mentally ill and even physically ill was through religion. You know, remember, religion told you that if you're physically ill, you go to the pastor and he's going to pray for you and heal you. And I believe in prayers, but you know what I mean? Same thing mentally. They would cast out the demons. Remember the movie The Exodus, Exorcism. So look, faith is good because I don't think you get from point A to point B without faith. I believe in my life. I testified to that. I believe God has saved me. I believe in Jesus. I allow room for any religion because I really don't believe in one religion at this point in my life. But what I want to tell you guys is faith is good, religion is bad, and we are an evolved humanity. Okay. We're not that evolved, okay, because if you think we're that evolved, you haven't been a nomad and been at Planet Fitness or been in the public or been in campgrounds. Because what you're going to realize is, oh, we are still in a certain dimension. Okay, we're not that far. So, I can think of no greater message every night other than just take care of yourself well and get through each day. Take care of your responsibilities. Don't hang around people that are not good for you physically, mentally, emotionally. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to live this life of just absolute freedom and adventure, okay? Because you're still a human. And in this world, it's still tough to keep focused, to stay centered, to not lose your mind, to not lose your health, to not lose your will and your energy to go on. When you're young, you have more tenacity. When you're young, you like I did, you could eat a bucket of fried chicken and play a full court basketball game. When you're old, guys, if you have the wrong type of dinner, you're gonna have acid reflux. Your sleep schedule is gonna be shot. You're gonna be online trolling or doing a video talking about you hope someone crashes into a tree and kills himself. And I'm saying to myself, man, you need to take care of your mental health, man. Okay, you need to take care of your mental health. Okay, because all of us have mental health. Whether you're a CEO for an IT company or whether you're a janitor or whether you're an unemployed psychopath, all of us have mental health. Some of us take care of it better. Some of us have certain issues biologically that But guys, you still it's like you still have to do the work of your life. And if you can't do the work of your life, I don't know what to say. You got to get in some type of support system. Okay, it's not the Thousand Trail system, even though some people do that. Charles, what's up, man? Working out will take care of that monkey mind. To a certain extent, I agree with you, Charles. To another extent, it's one tool, right? So, working out is one tool to take care of yourself well. And I totally agree. It takes care of your physical and mental. But it's still life, But I agree. If you have the capacity to work out, you need to work out at least 4 days out of the 7 days. You need to go for a walk every day. Even if you're in a cold state, which I did, you have to bundle up. But that's why the seniors, they got to live in a warm state because they can't bundle up that much and walk. If you're going to get subsidized housing, guys, get it in a southern state with warm weather. Because I don't know why you want to die up north. I saw my man Mark today from upstate New York. He made a video, not from Thousand Trails, but from upstate New York, inspecting a broken water pipe, okay, because it froze. And I'm saying to myself, damn, man, you got to figure out how you can get a job transfer and inspect utility pipes in Florida, even if you don't get paid as much. I mean, I'll tell you right now, guys, Mark, I think, is 46. His birthday was today or yesterday. Could I live another 16 years till 62 in upstate New York before I came to Florida? No. Sell your house, get a Thousand Trails adventure package, come down to Florida and go to Encore Park to Encore Park. That's what I tell you. But that's just my opinion. You got to secure the bag. Secure the bag, self-care, and show up. Everything else is an advertisement. Okay, it's click this link, talk to this sales rep, tell them I sent you. I say, look, guys, fuck all that shit. Okay, it's pennies on the dollars. Don't worry about the thumbs up. Click the blue join button, and then cancel it when you're not inspired. Why? Because, guys, don't let people play with your emotions. Okay, you got to live your own life. Okay, you don't need other people. Other people can inspire you, including me. But like I say, guys, you don't even need me. Okay, what you need is yourself. And anyone who loves you would tell you the same thing. Anyone who doesn't love you will tell you a fucking sales pitch. Okay. So, when you learn to take care of yourself well, it's still good to connect with other like-minded people. But it's a disaster to depend on someone else to inspire you. Charles, I live in Michigan right now. Ooh, what a disaster. I'm afraid of slipping on the ice and falling my ass when I'm older. Well, Charles, I don't know your plan, but I would plan immediately to get the hell out of Dodge. Because, I don't know. But this is just me now speaking. Don't make it project on you, Charles. This is just my thoughts. My thoughts are, life is just, if you live in a state, which again, I lived in New Jersey most of my life, where 6 to 8 months out of the year, you can't really be outside at a good level. It's like, why are you even alive? So you can bundle up in your house. Now look, guys, I wouldn't want to live in Texas, Tennessee, Arizona. Why? Because Florida is the warmest state in America in the winter. Not Arizona, not Texas, Florida. Okay. So guys, if you want to be warm in the winter, you come to Florida. It's a cold front today. It's like 60 degrees. That's cold. Okay. In Texas right now, it's like 40. Okay. So, I don't want to see cactus. I want to see palm trees. Okay. And when you have the Adventure Thousand Trails camping membership, guys, you can go see cactus, palm trees, whatever. You can go to Encore Park to Encore Park. But 15 grand going to cost you. You can advance, 90-day advance booking with the Encore Parks. But 15,000 up front if you're a new member. How do you live this nomadic life and not get burnt out being in the public? Like my man Journey with Jordan did, like I feel. I'll tell you guys, I'm on my 4th year, going into my 5th year living in my car. And I would say if one thing that would get me off the road, other than, God forbid, a major health problem, would be just the frustration of dealing with the public. Because for the first time today, I was by this nice community. Because again, guys, I'm not a nomad because I want to be in a truck stop with a bunch of people. Guys, I stay at truck stops, but I don't want to be in bad areas. Okay. I was in this community today, nice area, and I looked at this one home. I don't want the home. I don't want the maintenance. But it did, for the first time, I was a little bit envious, and I don't want to use that word because I'm never envious, but I want to make that description. I was a little envious of somebody being able to go in their house and shut off the world and to create their own environment. Okay. I would say this is one of the few times in the 4 years that I felt that way. I would say because, look, I am getting burnt out on being around the public all the time. I don't have an illusion that home ownership, because I've owned a home for 15 years, I don't have an illusion that will solve all the aches of life. Because I know I trade one set of burdens for another. And I don't know if I want the burden of home ownership ever again. And so I look at the things like the 1,000 Trails Camping Pass, the new adventure membership. I say, is this the solution? Well, for me, possibly. Because for me, going to Encore Park and being able to be around the ocean, not the middle of the state, or, that matters to me. But I don't know if I cut off the public enough by just being in a campground and being in my RV. Because if I'm sitting in my travel trailer or Class B, and I'm in my little spot, and I look out my window, and some psychopath, okay, is smoking a cigarette with his channel locks, tightening up his damn anchor, does that inspire me? I don't know. Pluto, $5 super chat. One day at a time, self-care and time management. Amen, brother. If you don't get anything else from my videos, that would give you the value you need, not to give you a sales pitch, but to give you a foundation to at least keep you as healthy as possible throughout your life. Because I don't try to give you guys a grand sales pitch, because what I've learned in life, there is no grand sales pitch. The core of your life is one day at a time, self-care, self-control, and time management. And around that orbits financial management, emotional management, your money, your relationships. Everything centers from that. And really, that's the only thing I can focus on, and that I could tell you to focus on. Everything else is just, it's an additional adventure or disaster. Everything outside that is an additional adventure or disaster. Because, keeping your sanity, keeping your health, keeping your money to a certain degree, and keeping your independence is a big part of life. Okay? And I want people, I don't even know, like, guys, I'm not under the illusion like when I was young, like, I'm going to like be able to really help a lot of people or do a lot of things. And I like to be by myself, and I like to be able to run my channel how I want, without the bullshit. But I also still have a little bit of a dream in my mind that at some point I go back to being a total recluse, and like having a new chapter in my life, reinventing. Now look, I wouldn't cut off the waterfall of money from YouTube, so I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, oh, I may shut down YouTube. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to have my other hustles have a certain economic growth, and I'd have to say, all right, I'm just going to cut YouTube out. But again, the reason I would do that would be the same reason I get off the road. I just want my privacy. That's it. There's nothing like grand about it. It's just that I want my privacy. I want my peace. I had a troll one time. He had a mental illness, but I tried to be nice to him, because I try to be nice to everyone. I'm very nice in real life. Most people testify to it. Again, when you see me on YouTube, it's another dimension of my personality, because it's a level of entertainment. I got a limited time here to get the message across, so I have to be explosive. But I remember dealing with this guy. He was a good guy, but I don't know what he had, bipolar, schizophrenia, whatever. I don't know. And no disrespect, because it's a real thing. But one day he'd be nice, one day he'd be psychotic. And then one day he left a comment, like it was a little bit of a sarcastic comment. And he had a channel. He had a YouTube channel. He uploaded a couple videos, like most of you people tell me you're going to have a YouTube channel. And then he shut his channel down. I said, well, why'd you shut your channel down? He goes, because I want peace and serenity. See, he wanted peace and serenity, but he also wanted to give me shit. So it's like, that's the hypocrisy of life. Like, people want their peace, but they also want to be able to bust your chops. Okay. And I mean, look, again, it's par for a course, right? You get in the ring, you're going to get hit. You become a YouTuber, you got to deal with the psychopaths. If you become a nomad, you got to deal with being in the public more. So these are the things that weigh on the human psyche, and that which we have to navigate around based on our own individual journey, our own individual goals and desires. Charles, I just turned 40, middle-aged like me, brother. This month, congratulations and happy birthday. Let's sing happy birthday. Why? Fuck it. It's not pandering, because I already tell you guys, look, I'm not here to be a puppet, but I'm here to show love. So let's sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to Charles. Happy birthday to Charles Elson. You are 40 years old, middle age. But all you can do is take life one day at a time, self-care, self-control, and time management. Charles, me, and our brother Pluto, and Journey with Jordan, somewhere in Tennessee. No longer is Journey with Jordan parked in Dave Ramsey's parking lot. He's somewhere in the house. Why? He had to get away from the public. I don't blame him. We love you, Charles, okay? And we love you too, Journey. And we hope that, I don't know, I don't want to give you a grand speech, Charles. I just want to say, I want to show you some love. Because it is true that we still do need love, guys. I guess, look, one thing I've been blessed with was I was blessed with a good mother. Now, but like I always tell you guys, I got 2 siblings. I love them, but they have some mental issues, okay? And I couldn't be around them. So, and my mom worked her entire life. She worked like 2-3 jobs. And neither one of my siblings work. So I don't know if I can even say that just because you have a great parent is going to mean you're going to have a great work ethic. Guys, it's a fucking crapshoot. Okay. And I don't think I'm better than anyone, but I have to make these statements. Why? Because this is what makes my channel who I am, guys. I mean, how many times are we going to talk about? You can go to Encore Park, guys. I mean, come on. So, all right, happy birthday. I don't know what I was talking about now. Charles, yep, you turned 40. And, I'm sorry, you turned 40 this month, and your retirement plans have never really entered your mind. Besides saving for it, your video on the sad truth of moving to Florida when you're too old, oh, that's the real, yep, was an eye-opener for me. Well, that's good, Charles. I'm glad. Thank you for sharing. I'm glad that I could spark some urgency. I don't want you to rush. I'm not telling you that Florida's limited capacity, because what you're going to meet is some of the most insecure people in the world. They're going to hate that I say this, but I'm not responsible for it. Guys, I love everyone, but I have to speak against this. When people are scared that Florida is going to be overpopulated, it's the same people that are scared that they're going to miss out on Bitcoin. They're going to miss out on GameStop. They live with this fear that someone's going to take. It's the same thing that a broke person who has a storage unit. They fear someone's going to take their stuff. Guys, there's plenty of fucking room in Florida, okay? Okay, you got other fucking problems, okay? Take care of yourself. Go back to step 1, okay? Don't worry about Florida getting overpopulated, okay? Don't worry about everyone buying up Bitcoin. Guys, take care of yourself, okay? Don't even worry about the 1,000 Trails selling out. Guys, believe me, they can make more. 1,000 Trails memberships are like the dollar, okay? The Federal Reserve can just print more, okay? And I don't know if you know, but 1,000 Trails is a publicly traded company. They go by their equity lifestyle. They're a REIT. They're a real estate investment trust, okay? So believe me, guys, they know the game, okay? This is not like they weren't sitting around, okay, the corporate desk and saying, how can we make these campers happier? They said, how can we upsell? We're going to give them value. They're giving you value. You can go to Encore Park. I may do it, but you're paying a premium. Okay? And the big thing is you're paying $615 a year just for the Trails collection, plus the $500 or $600 for the 1,000 Trails. Now you're up to like $1,000 a year. Before you know it, a few years it'll be $2,000. Now, if you're 62, they'll freeze your dues. I don't know if they'll freeze your Trails collection dues. Got to check that. But you got to think about all these things. Pluto, happy birthday, Charles. Pluto's in the house. Pluto, may your best days be ahead of you. Well, let's hope so. And your worst behind you. Well, it's an interesting thing. Look, as you get older, I think your best days are behind you, but different good days are ahead of you. Like, guys, my best days are getting, dressed up and, like going out and feeling the excitement of a girl and, getting, your first paycheck or, just going to play basketball and think you're going to get drafted by the New York Knicks. Those days are gone. Okay. But your stocks may do well. You may be fully mature and you don't worry about peer pressure anymore. And you're an adult. And that's a good part about being an adult is you control shit if you run your life right. So look, guys, it's like we trade off one thing for another. Okay. So if you sell your house and live in an RV, you trade off one thing for another. When you go into middle age and into your senior years, you trade off the energy, the health, the vigor, and the passion of youth for experience, knowledge, and wisdom. Okay, some people do. Some people are still complete psychopaths. But all we can do is go forward. All we can do is go forward. Why? Because you make your life harder. You make your life harder if you go backwards. Okay? So when you're totally in doubt, keep pushing forward, one foot in front of the other. I always tell you guys, when I owned a house and I was walking around my community, I saw an old guy, good guy. And he had a dog, and we used to walk our dogs together. And I said, let me ask you something. What was the worst part about your life? What was the hardest thing in life so far you faced? The old guy who's in his 60s, 70s maybe. And I know some of you people in your 60s, 70s, you watch and you say, that's old. Guys, that's fucking old. 80 years old is average life expectancy. If you're 60 or 70, guys, you should be on the schedule for a vaccine. You're high risk. So I asked this guy, I said, what was the hardest part about life? And he goes, well, Sam, he goes, probably the hardest part, if I had to pinpoint one major hurdle, was when me and my wife had our son. We thought, we had high hopes that he would be a scholar. Because he goes, you know, I'm a professor. He was a professor in college. His wife was a psychiatrist. And he goes, so, you know, we're very much into education and knowledge. And we were hoping that our son, you know, would follow in a similar passion. But once our son would turn like 3 or 4 and we learned that he had a mental disability or a learning disability or a combination of both, and we knew that he would never fully be developed, it was a crushing thing. I said, wow, I can understand that pain. I said, well, how'd you deal with it? And he looked at me and he said, Sam, he goes, what do you do? He goes, you put one foot in front of the other. That's all you can do. You know, he goes, and you just go from there. And I said, all right, I dig it. So, Coconut's good to see you, brother. See? Stocks are back up today, brother. Now, it all depends, you know, like, you know, GameStop was down, but, you know, other stocks were up. The index was up. You know, so, guys, just look, hang in there, guys. Life has its ups and downs. Journey laughing good. Laughter's good for the soul. Charles, thanks, guys. We love you, brother. Keep pushing forward. Journey, that's my guy. That's true. I couldn't handle the psychopath that parks right next to you. Oh, they're always in an empty parking spot anymore. Journey, I think about you, man. Because I feel very similar when I have someone park next to me, or when I'm in the gym and someone, like, again, this is what I want to tell you guys. After you've been on the road for a couple years, you got to get a different gym membership other than Planet Fitness. Because Planet Fitness, because it's so cheap, it attracts all the cheap psychopaths. Okay. And are there still psychopaths in a more costlier gym? Of course, but at least they're more quiet. Okay. So, you know, it's like, you know, and so you got to protect your privacy as a nomad. And there's one thing that's going to get me off the road at this point. It's going to be the same reason Journey was doing it. I'm tired of dealing with the public. And I think to myself, should I spend this $15,000, get a travel trailer, and I would add some, well, I don't know, man. I think I probably have more privacy stealth parking, but I have more worry in stealth parking. You know, the campgrounds there's more security in knowing, like, look, this is a safe, legal place. You don't have to be stealth. But your neighbors are closer and there's not that much privacy. So I don't know if I'd be better to just keep that $15,000 and just wait until I'm ready for a home base. I don't know. You know, it's a tough call, you know. So it's, but I understand exactly why you got off the road, Journey. Coconut's laughing good, brother. It's great to see you, Coconuts. You keep pushing forward, brother. Remember, stocks don't always go up, but remember, if you have a main source of income, a side source, a savings account, or if you're just rich as fuck and you can afford to lose a couple $100,000, I mean, you know, don't worry about it. Look, when someone parks next to me, I just move a few spots away. No biggie. Like I said, keep it simple. You are correct, Pluto, but here's the only thing I want to add. You've been on the road for less than a year. When you're on the road for 3-4 years, that little thing, it starts to get to you. And then you got to deal with a little bit of a psychopath in the gym. then you deal with traffic, then you deal with someone at Starbucks, and then it all adds up. However, you are totally correct, and I still have to remind myself I'm on wheels, but it does become a burden over time. Pluto. By the way, Sammy, this month I rented a 2021 Chevy Equinox, great car for nomading. Yeah, now Pluto is living in California, I believe by San Francisco, and he's doing a unique thing where he doesn't own a car, he rents one. What do you rent that car for again? Do you rent $1,000 a month, unlimited miles, I think you said? It's an interesting way to go. I mean, again, long term, it'd be better owning. Short term, it's better renting. You got no maintenance. You got a fixed fee. You can do unlimited miles. And you have different cars, so you're not noticed at truck stops as the same person or anywhere. Because you have to know as a nomad, when you park in a truck stop or when you park in a rest area, there's cameras, there's security guards, there's state troopers. They do patrolling. And they take an inventory of the cars that are there. And over time, if the same cars are there, depending on the area, they may start to say something to you. And so if you have a new car every month, you're kind of under the radar a little bit more. So Pluto said you're spending $1,000, $1,200 a month. So what you're spending is the same thing as the average rent. Because the average rent in America to rent an apartment is $1,200 a month. And you could probably definitely get one as a single person for $1,000 a month. So really, Pluto, you're not saving money. What you're doing is you're saying the lifestyle is better. And I would say, especially for a person who has the energy, the health, and the desire, the lifestyle of a nomad has a lot to offer over the conforming life. You're forced to get up. You're forced to self-care. It's more adventure. It's more adrenaline. It's more outdoors. And it's more creative. It's less privacy, it's less rest, so you trade off. But financially speaking, pretty much what you're doing is just saying, I want to live a different lifestyle. Again, because, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because again, I think with my Starbucks and my food, my fuel, and all my monthly bills are about $2,000 a month. So I know some people, they take $2,000 a month and they live in an apartment, they pay for everything and they're good. I know some people, they only make $1,000 a month, they're on subsidized housing, and they have probably the equivalent cash flow of $2,000. So for me, $2,000 a month is still below my means, but I am realistic that I'm not saving a tremendous amount where I'm just gaining and not giving. Now, again, if you found one area that you can park night after night and you never spend money in gas and you eat out of a can, you could probably live for $1,000 a month in your car if you tried really cheap. But again, it's like, I'm not trying to live that cheap because it's like everything, guys. You get to a certain point of living cheap where you're living in poverty. Okay. It's like, there's adventure and there's poverty. Okay. And, I don't want to live in poverty. Okay. I'm living in my car, but I don't want to live eating out of a can unless I want to. You know what I mean? So look, guys, I eat out of a can. I have beans every day from the supermarket. I take that can, I put it in a salad. So, but I'm trying to make the point that, nothing in life is free. And the new 1,000 Trails camping membership, damn sure ain't free. It's $15,000 if you're brand new. So, something to think about. Pluto says, at night, I leave the heat or AC on the car will turn on its own within 45 minutes. Okay, so it's a hybrid, Pluto? Charles, I never thought of that, Pluto. Interesting. Pluto, unlimited miles. For $1,000 and $1,200 a month, it should be unlimited. And I switch up cars so it keeps things interesting. Now, I can understand that. There's an adventure in that. And you keep the eyes off your back of you being a recurring car in the same spot. I would probably save money if I moved into a room. You would, but you would have roommates, and I wouldn't recommend that unless you were destitute. But would be back in the cage. Now, it's no doubt about it. It's true. Look, a house is a cage. However, when you're living by the beach, if you live in an area that inspires you, it's not bad. But if you're living in the suburbs in Michigan or upstate New York or even San Francisco, if you're not where When you're young, figure out where you want to live. Spend some time on the road with no attachments. If you can, if you're able. Figure out where you want to live. And that's my dilemma, brother. Is that I know I want to live in Florida. There's several towns that I would live in. There's no property that just has like utility hookups. You could put an RV and never be bothered. And so I go back to, well, should I just get 1,000 Trails adventure membership and just go from encore to encore? But I don't know if that gives me enough privacy. Because I don't know if I want to be in a travel trailer and look out my window and within 10 feet seeing someone else living in the travel trailer looking at me. Because then I'm looking at them, they're looking at me. And I said, let me put my shades down. Then before you know it, I got my shades down in my travel trailer and I'm in a damn hut. However, look, I guess when you put your shades down in your 2,200 square foot house, you're in a hut, but you know what I mean? There's a different level of privacy, There's a season for everything, okay? There's never a season to stay around the mentally ill. Why? Unless you're a trained psychologist and you're treating them. But remember, I've known trained psychologists, and they do not take their patient home with them. I'm going to do a whole live feed on that. Every trained, certified psychologist that I know has never taken their patient home. They treat them and then they go home themselves. Okay? So you have to remember that in life when you're out and about and you're dealing with people that are unstable. You don't take them home. Okay. Just keep it moving. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Pluto. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Coconuts. Thank you, Journey with Jordan. Great to see you. Pluto, thank you for that tip. I hope my videos help you in some way, inform you, inspire you, motivate you, spark you, or just give you something to do for about an hour out of the day. But remember, you don't owe me anything. What you owe is yourself to do self-care, wake up early, work out, eat healthy, get through life one day at a time, figure out where you want to live an inspired life, okay, live below your means, but secure an income, get a side hustle. That way you don't go crazy if your stocks go down. Thank you, Charles. Happy birthday again, man. And, have faith. Don't get religious, but have faith. Give people the freedom to do them as long as what they're doing is not hurting you. And it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to change your life, and show up. Because if you don't show up, it only gets worse. Okay? Thank you for watching. Peace.